Yeah, so very warm welcome to everybody. My name is Jai Rathod, okay, and I will be presenting this morning. All right, would be great. We just give maybe a couple of yeah. Thanks, Manu. Very good morning to you as well. So we'll just give maybe a few minutes for everybody to join in. So till that time, it will be great if I can just know a little bit about which city you guys are from. Anybody from outside Mumbai?
Hi, my name is Sunny and I'm from Gurgaon.
Hi, Sunny. Gurgaon.
Hi.
Okay, great. Lovely. And you can just use the chat box for now. And I will, of course, open the mic for questions later on. So Mukul, he's from New Delhi. You can just quickly just type your city name. Okay, Nainital. Wow. Jaipur. Lovely. Chandigarh. Aarti is from Chandigarh. Samyak, of course, I know, or I've seen when he was very small. Okay, Surjit. Guwahati, Assam. Fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah, Surendra as well. Yeah, he's known to me. Okay, great. So people from all over, New Delhi, Thane, okay, sister city. All right, great. So we have people from all across. I mean, it just gives me just reinforces to me the power of the internet, right? I mean, where else could you have the opportunity to speak to people from all across? Sitting in Bombay, I would actually have to do a physical seminar, to even reach out to places like these. So, and most of my students, they I mean, of course, there are people from Bombay, but at least half of them are from outside the city. So another New Delhi, great, lovely. And quick question: how many of you have been trading in the markets, and for how many years? Let's just put it that way. So years of experience in the market. So it could be 0 if you're an absolute fresher, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. You just put the number of years in the chat box. It'll give me a sense of where the majority is at. 1 year, 1 year. Manu says 1 year. Umesh says 1 year. Narendra 6 months. Okay, so that's fairly new. 1 year. Okay. Aarti also 1 year. I guess COVID had a lot to do with it. I think a lot of people have started trading since the lockdown and since COVID happened, which is fair and logical. 9 months. Okay, great. Oh, Sunny says, I've been investing from 13 years, but no experience in day trading or options trading. Okay, that's fine. So 13 years, good. So you have a fair amount of experience and knowledge about the markets. Okay, good. All right, one final question. Who's made money in the markets? And you can be honest over here, okay? And even if you've lost money, you can write that. So you can either write made money or lost money. Whatever is your current situation. Figures are immaterial. How much you made, how much you lost, that's not what we're interested in. It's just, whether you made money or whether you've lost money. So Gaurav says made. Surendra has also made money. Okay, very good. Umesh has also made money. Sujit has lost. Okay, thank you for being honest. Surjit is saying both. Okay, so you've made some, lost some. Okay, Abhishek is lost, made and lost both. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So Sunny says, I've made money from long-term investments. However, burnt my hands when tried options recently. Okay, I hear you. Mukul is break even. Okay, so okay, not bad. All right, great. So there's a mix. Some people have made money. Okay, and so Shobit says making money in cash for last 5 years. Started FNO for last 5 months. Lost big amount. Yeah, I can understand your pain. I mean, FNO is, you can lose money fairly quickly, and just in the normal course of things. Zakham ko nasur bana diya. R, I don't know who R is, but yeah, I mean, that's what the market does to you, right? And that's just the way of the game. So to whoever said who's lost money or made and lost money both, I can tell you I have lost money big time initially. All right, so my first 10 years of the market on a net basis. All right. So because you'll obviously make money sometimes. It's not as if you're continuously losing all the trades, it's never like that, because the market is anyway a binary game, right? So it's buy and sell. So thing can go up or go down. There are only two options. And even if I keep saying, even if you're a monkey and just you're typing things on the keyboard, buy sell without any knowledge, even a monkey will make money sometimes. Okay, because that's just you're in the right place, right time, markets are going up, all of those things. And for me, when I started trading 2000 or started investing actually 2001, I lost a little bit of money, then took a break. Basically, my capital was over. I was in a job, that was my first job at that time. Then became a long-term investor, or thought I became a long-term investor, and started investing. I made about 150% in 1 year, in slightly less than 1 year. But that was basically the start of the 2003 bull market. Okay, so I was in the right place at the right time, and I was thinking I am the genius. But I also got out fairly early, so I entered a stock like Steel Authority of India at 14 bucks, exited at 70, stock went to 140. Okay, so now you might think you only lost 70 bucks, but actually 70 bucks divided by 14, which was my entry price, I have lost 500% on the entry price. So the huge difference. The last move is really what matters. And there's several other stories. Even Eicher Motors. I've actually seen Eicher Motors stock at 17, 18 rupees. 15 rupees. Even considered buying it. Never bought it because I didn't have much idea. And as we all know, Eicher Motors from that time, the highest it has gone is roughly around 33,000. Okay, so but I have actually seen those prices. 17 rupee ka stock, 30 rupees stock. Eicher going to 30 rupees, and I remember some analysts, the faces also, I don't remember the names, who had recommended buy Eicher Motors. Of course, I'm sure even they in their wildest dreams wouldn't have known that the stock is going to go up so much. And so the first decade of mine was a completely a loss-making, experience. And then slowly but surely, I started learning. From loss-making, I became a break-even trader. From break-even, I became a slightly profitable trader, and slightly profitable to more profitable. And eventually, last 2.5 years, I'm a full-time trader. Not only am I a full-time trader, I'm also trading a fairly large capital for some of my family and friends, and so helping them make money, and of course, I make my fund management fees. So that's how it is. The market will give you an opportunity to do everything. Lose money if you don't know what you're doing, which is what I did. And then, of course, if you know what you're doing, then, and if you stay in the game long enough, then making money is just part of it's like a business. It will happen. So great. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time on a Sunday morning. All right. Great to have these small, brief introductions about where you guys are coming from. And hopefully, I'll be able to do justice to the time that you have invested. I will try my best for sure. Okay. As some of you already know, I am just a brief to conclude my introduction. So I've been in. So I started my career in 2000. Yeah, 2000. Worked for 3 years in the corporate world. Okay. After that, got into business. Was into HR consulting. Was into the solar power industry for the last 10 odd years before I became a full-time trader. But trading was always, I would say, something. It was something about the markets which kind of pulled me. I was like. When you see stocks moving up 5% in a day, 10% in a day, and you see an fixed deposit giving you 10% in a year, obviously that temptation is always there. If I can just do that, once, I don't need to wait for 1 year. In fact, that's how I got into the markets. I was never really attracted by the fixed deposit rates at that time, which were about 10, 11%. Now, though, of course, it's 6%, so even worse. That's how I got into the markets. And basically that's my background. So I've been into business and thankfully have had the opportunity to turn my interest into a passion, and that has become my profession. So never thought it would happen, frankly speaking, but there are bigger forces at play. But yeah, what you got to do is you got to just keep at it, and eventually things will fall in place. I'm also a 15-time winner of the Zerodha 60-day challenge. Some of you may be aware what a Zerodha 60-day challenge is. How many are aware? Do you know what a Zerodha 60-day challenge is? In the chat box, you can write yes, no. Okay, so a lot of people are not aware. All right. So Zerodha is India's largest stockbroker. Okay, my broker as well for the last so many years. And they have a challenge that they run where every 60 trading days, so you have to start the challenge, every 60 trading days, which is roughly 3 calendar months, they see your performance in those 3 months. Okay, whether in that period you were profitable or loss making at the end of that period. So there's a start date, end date. And if you're profitable, they give you a certificate. So I have won that certificate 15 times, 15 separate occasions. So that's a 3-month period multiplied by 15 times. So roughly a 45-month period of profitability is what I can say. Now, this I'm not saying, just to brag about myself, although of course I am proud of it. It's mainly to tell you, okay, you need to, and most of you may not have, some of you may have come through Facebook or, whatever. So you may not know who I am, or why the hell should I listen to this guy? Who's Jairaj? I don't know, so that's just to give you some idea that, okay, I know a fair bit. I am a profitable trader for the last 2.5 years. So this just gives you maybe some more credibility. I can listen to this guy. Seems to know what he's talking about. At least seems to know more than what I have at this time, So that's all there is to it. So without further ado, let's start with the presentation. One quick last question: where do you guys actually, come to know about this this seminar? If you just quickly do that while I set up the rest of the session. Just put in the chat box. So if you came through Facebook or my WhatsApp groups, some of you part of that. Okay, just put that in the comments in the chat. That'll be great. All right, just minimize. Excuse me. Okay, I haven't fully recovered, so I may, take a sip of water in between to clear my throat or whatever, or put myself on mute. So apologies for that. Okay, so a lot of them are WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram. All right, great. So mix. All right, lovely. Just again to get a sense of, how many people are new and stuff. All right, so we've got 37 participants so far. Fabulous. Great. Good on you for joining. So let's begin. Okay, so the topic for today, of course, as you know, is how to identify strong and weak stocks. Okay, this is very important. Most of the time, people are interested in, wait, which stock do I buy? Okay, what price do I buy? All of those are valid questions, no doubt. But first, you need to know your universe. I strongly believe that if you are relying on other people, okay, to make money for you or to give you tips or to give you, buy sell recommendations, that's not the right way to go about it. I have myself done it. Okay, I've paid good money in 2005, 6, 7 to people who come on business channels, all of that. Nothing against them, all right, but it doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because they will give you, let's say, 20 calls. Or even let's say I may give you 20 calls, 50 calls, whatever. Okay, if you encounter losses in some of them, you will lose confidence. Okay, and you will not trade the rest of the calls. That's human nature. I myself have done it, so I know. Okay, and what happens then is, so you are out of the game. All right, those few calls that you did not trade, they turn out to be profitable. Okay, so now you are like, okay, so maybe he's good, maybe he was bad earlier, he's good now, so let me try trading those again. Those maybe hit stop losses, I don't know. A lot of luck factor goes into that, because you are not giving the strategy or those calls enough of a playing field or enough time to work. So like, no one call can be, doesn't matter who the genius is who gives you the call, even it may be Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, no single buy or sell call has any guarantee attached to it. Okay, so any call at any time can fail and can hit a stop loss. All right, this is something very difficult for people from outside the stock market world to recognize and identify and accept, because we are used to, if you're a doctor, you're performing a surgery, okay, or if you're an engineer, okay, you have your building plans, okay, building plans jaisa hai, building वैसे बनती है if you execute it correctly, okay. Obviously if you make a hash job in the execution, you know, you use bad quality material, all of that, building will fall. But generally it's easy to replicate what you have learned in college in real life. In the markets it's very different. You trade 50 you know, stocks. Not all of them, let's say the patterns are also identical, okay, everything is identical about those stocks, the results are not identical, okay, because there are function of several other factors which are beyond your control, okay. So everything may be good and overnight some bad news comes, okay, what's going to happen? Market's going to open gap down, okay, your stop loss is going to be hit. You pehले अरे कल तक तो सब कुछ ठीक था, आज क्या हो गया? But that's how it is, because it's not just, it's not a it's not a certainty game, it's a probability game, okay. And that is why it is important to know how to identify strong and weak stocks, because you need to start becoming experts yourself, okay. Only once you become experts yourselves can you actually become profitable, and profitable with big quantum, okay. See, it's okay if you rely on somebody else, you know a friend or whatever, you know, and TK, you're taking his advice, whatever, you may make some money here and there. But if you want to make big money only comes from your own conviction. It cannot come from that guy's conviction. So for example, let's say you have a friend who's into business, okay, let's say he's in the leather business or whatever, okay, and he tells you, okay, अरे boss, मेरे business में जबरदस्त मुनाफा है, okay, there's great profit in my business, why don't you invest 20 lakhs, okay, and let's say you have 30 lakhs in your bank account, okay, are you going to invest 20 lakhs into his business based on what he's saying? Unlikely, right? Unlikely, because first of all, it's a huge chunk of the total money you have. Secondly, you don't know anything about his business. He knows. He's got the conviction, because business is his, the knowledge base is his. So and that's why Rakesh Jinjunwala rightly says money cannot be made on borrowed knowledge, okay. And I have borrowed this statement of his several times, because it is so true, because my personal experience, taking tips of so many other people and all doesn't work. Your knowledge becomes internal. Oh, then sky's the limit. Okay, then you can scale up tremendously. But that knowledge, and it's obviously it's a slightly long-term process. Like it takes a couple of years probably to really become very good at it. Okay, or to start being on the path. For some people, it may be longer. For me, it took a decade. But then I was not doing any, there were not as many courses available at that time. I was not trying to acquire knowledge at that time. I was still trying to, piggyback on somebody else, which doesn't work. Okay, so that's why we need to identify strong and weak stocks, so that we have a basket where we have some conviction ki bhai, this basket has a mathematical edge, or has some edge whereby it can do better than the others. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, a quick disclaimer. So none of the information in this document is an advice or offer to buy or sell anything. It's purely for educational purposes. And of course, you guys know trading and investing in the market involves significant risk. Consult with your financial advisor before taking any investment or trading decision. I don't, because I am my own financial advisor. In fact, when people call me to sell me mutual funds, I tell them, your mutual funds can't, the returns I am generating, your mutual funds can't generate. So there's no point in continuing the conversation. And yeah, commercial use of this presentation is not allowed, blah, blah, blah. We are not liable for any losses in the markets, of course. All right. And Jai Rathod or Alpha Focus, which is my company. Okay. We are not SEBI registered investment advisors or research analysts, but neither are we required to be so. We are in the field of education. Okay. We do not provide trading tips or calls either, and neither do we invest money on your behalf. Okay. Can anyone quickly tell me what does this mean? Obviously, you will not be able to, but Maybe somebody might be. I mean, I'm not sure. You can't, right? Most of the people, this is gibberish. All right. So this is I don't know in German. All right. So what was the problem here? The problem was not what was written. The problem was we don't know German. All right. So we don't know the language. The stock market also has a language, and you didn't understand what was written because you did not know the language. Similarly, most people do not understand the stock market because they do not know the language that the stock market is speaking in. And this is very important. If you don't know what the market is doing, don't do anything. That's the best. Okay. Learn what the market is trying to tell you. What is the language that it is trying to, how is it speaking? It's not obviously not going to come to your ear and say, hey, I'm going up or whatever. Okay. But there is a language. And every day the market or the stock is telling you something, but you are oblivious to it. Like I was oblivious for so many years. Okay. And that language is one of candlesticks, time frames, trends, price action. All of this is conveyed through price charts. Okay. So now there are of course various ways you can make money in the markets. You have fundamental analysis, which is you read the balance sheets of companies, take a call on the promoter, several other things. Okay. The financial side of it. Okay. And then there is technical analysis, which is what we do. Okay. Technical analysis simply means we look at the price chart of the stock, the past price history of the stock, and take a trading or a investment decision for the future. We are not concerned with what the promoter is doing. We are not, I mean, of course, we don't want scams. So we will keep the promoter in that sense. We look at the promoter from that angle only. But we are not concerned with things like quarterly results, okay, news about the company, all right. All of that is immaterial. For us, there is only one God, and that God is price, okay. So just a background. And this is what a candlestick chart looks like. There are several other types of charts. We can't obviously, go through everything, but the most effective one is the candlestick chart, okay. A quick introduction for people. What is a candlestick? Okay, so basically it is so if you see this chart, so this is a daily chart, all right. So each candle represents 1 day's price movement, all right. So this is from May till December, okay, whatever would be the period, whatever would be the year. So when you say, so as you know, market opens at 9:15 in the morning, okay, shuts at 3:30 in the afternoon, all right. So you have an open price, you have a close price, which is 3:30, all right. In the day between 9:15 to 3:30, what is the high that the market made? What is the low that the market made? All right. It is represented by these two. So the open and the close would be the body, all right. This body, and why it's called a candlestick, it looks like a candlestick, right? So you will have an open and a close, which is the candlestick body, and you have these wicks or shadows, as they call it, jutting out at either end, which signify the highs and the lows. The color of these candles is based on where the candle closed in relation to its open. So if the candle, let's say, opened here at 9:15, if the price opened at 9:15 here, closed higher here, okay, at 3:30, then this is colored green because it was a bullish day. Green is the color for bulls, the price is going up. Similarly, if the opposite happened, which means the price opened here at 9:15 and at 3:30 closed here, okay, so that means, let's say this was 100 and it closed at 95, okay. So because it fell, the close was lower than the open, okay. Doesn't matter what the highs and lows did in between, okay. It's always in reference to the open. So because it closed lower than it opened, it is red. So that day's price action was bearish, okay. And that's what it does. It represents, so instantly you come to know, all these red candles, the open was higher, the close was lower. All the green candles, the open was lower, the close was higher. That's what, and visually it's quite easy to see what the market is doing. You still can't make sense of it, but at least on an individual day what happened. All right. With me so far? Any questions on this? All good?
Can you please repeat this candles again, and how do you read it how do you read a chart with reference to opening and closing?
Okay, sure. So let's go here. Okay, let me use an annotation. Okay, so let's say this is a stock of let's say Reliance Industries. Okay, and or let's say stock XYZ. Okay, and stock, let's say, opened at 100 rupees. So 9:15, the first trade was at 100 rupees. All right. Then let's say 9:30 or maybe 10 o'clock, price went up to 102. All right. So it went up to 102. So price started here, went up here. All right. Then from there, price started falling. Dire. Okay. It fell a little bit more. It went up, fell a little bit more, went up, fell a little bit more, went up, fell a little bit more, because nothing falls in a straight line. There's always moves to the counter side, and then fell dramatically. Okay, went up. Finally, let's say at 2:30, price fell all the way to, let's say, 95. Okay, so this low was 95. So opened at 100, went to a high of 102. Then after that, so this was at whatever, 10 o'clock. Okay, and after that, let's say 2:30, price fell all the way to 95. And then 3:30, price managed to close at, let's say, 96. Okay. So because price opened at 100, closed at 96. Now 96 being lower than 100 obviously means price deteriorated during the day, right? So because the price closed lower than 100, lower than the opening price, this candlestick is colored red. So what they are simply doing is they are marking these levels. 100 ka level mark kiya. This is one level. This is another level. The high, okay. The low is another level. And then of course the close is another level. So this entire line represents the entire price movement of that particular stock in the day. All right. So you can see, but you have to see, if there's only one line, you don't know open kidhar hua, close kidhar hua, right? So what they do is they use this, the body, to signify the open and close, and only the wicks to signify the highs and the lows. All right. So that's how it is. That's how it works. And on the opposite side, you will have something, let's say, which opened at 96. Okay, let's say 10:30, stock went to, let's say, 95. Same prices. Let's just take the same price. Okay, so this opened now at 9:15. At 10:30, this went to 95. So yahan khula, niche gaya, then started recovering. Okay, fell down, went up, fell down, went up, fell down, went up, fell down, did a dramatic up move. Okay, let's say this was this could have been 1 p.m. also. It need not be towards the end. It could happen anytime. Okay, let's say 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, price hit a high of 102. Same pricing. Okay, price hit a high of 102. And then finally at 3:30, it closed at 100. Now here, because it opened at 96, closed higher, okay, at 100, this candlestick is green. So it just signifies that this was a bullish day, open and then closed higher. Is that clear now? So it just shows that on that day, whether it was a bullish day or a bearish day. And the highs and lows only signify the extreme price points reached in the day. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Okay, so moving on. Okay, now so ye to ho gaya candlestick. Okay, but on the basis of candlestick alone, you can't trade. Okay, our topic is, how to select strong and weak stocks. So we need to know what is strong and what is weak. Okay, the way we do that is by a concept called as trends. We try to find the trend of the stock. All right. Now, if you've noticed, the stock market is never linear. Okay, it's never linear, right? It's not like you buy something at 100 and it goes straight up. Okay, What it does is it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, and then finally reaches this. It's a zigzag path to this, right? And it is this zigzag which is the most irritating part. I mean, if the zigzag wasn't there, making money would be so easy, because it is when it is falling that we don't know how much it is going to fall till, okay, and we get out. And then when it is rising, we generally buy here after it has already risen quite a bit. And then it falls, it takes our stop loss. So it is, we are constantly being thrown around, you know, it's like a washing machine, you know, we are constantly just being thrown around from one end to the other, okay, because we don't really know what's happening. And now you might say, yeah, that's the worst part about the markets, right? You know, why is it like this? Why is it zigzag? Okay. But actually speaking, everything in life ebbs and flows, okay. So this is of course our ECG graph, okay, ups and downs. What would happen if this is a flat line? We no longer exist, right? Or whoever's ECG that is. So just to stay alive also we need ups and downs, okay. So I mean, God in all his wisdom, he could have made this very linear, okay, but this goes up and down, okay. There is an inhale and there is an exhale. You can't have one without the other. You can't be inhaling only, right? You have to exhale also. The tide, okay, on the seashore, it comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out. With seasons, that's even more pronounced, more pronounced. Trends in life, this is our plan, right? Yeah, I start here, I end here, maza aa jaye. But in actual reality, it's we encounter, you know, a lot of obstacles. We climb up, we go down again, we climb up, we go down, okay, we create
Where was the ball?
I'm just gonna have to mute everyone and you can unmute yourselves later. Okay, and that's how it works, right? So there are so many challenges that come our way. That's reality, right? And that's how life is. And the markets are no different. The markets are no different. Okay, the markets are also not detached from reality. So the rules of life apply to the market as well. So that is why you have the ebbs and flows in the stock market as well. Okay, now we're going to try to make some sense of it. Okay, trends in the stock market. And now what is the typical pattern of one's life? Our life is never just going up, right? So we are also uptrending. So where things are going very well for us, all right, then some phases or some years in our life where we are actually on a slope, okay. Everything that we are touching is forget you know, turning to gold is turning to stone, you know, nothing is going right, okay. We have a disaster after the other or some really bad setbacks, okay. And for those 2-3 years it seems like we are actually not forget progressing or staying at the same level, we are downgrading, okay. That happens, right? Whether career ho kuch bhi ho, it happens in everyone's life. If it hasn't happened in someone's life, then that's fantastic, but generally speaking you will have these periods. So periods may be small or big, that's a separate story, okay. So you have uptrending periods in your life, downtrending periods in your life, and you have sideways periods where you're stuck in a rut where nothing much is progressing, you know, you're not really moving forward, you're not going back either, but you're kind of, you know, just there and thereabouts, okay. But it's never in one place, so you generally never have life stuck in one place, you know, there's always something happening. So either it's going up, going down, or it's just monotonous, not doing anything, okay. But here also you could actually be preparing for the next up move, you know, or down move also. But a lot of times it happens that, you know, we're preparing, we are studying or whatever, you know, which is why we're sideways. They're like, okay, let this, you know, job continue, okay, I'm not very interested in this job, I want a different career, so I'm going to pursue an MBA or whatever. So those 3 years are sideways for you, okay, or maybe downtrending also because you're losing money, you know, in the education. But eventually, of course, this is going to lead to a higher quality of life once the MBA is done. All right, and that's what it is. So the stock market also does the same thing. It moves up, it moves down, and it is sideways, and it is never in a straight line. Okay, and they work as per universal rules and laws. And there are 3 types of trends in the market: uptrend, downtrend, and sideways trend. And this is how we will come to know what are the strong and weak stocks? Stocks which are in an uptrend are strong stocks. Stocks which are in a downtrend are weak stocks. Okay, sideways stocks we are not interested in because they have yet to establish what they are going to do. Okay, their direction is not clear. Okay, now this is how we are going to define a trend. Okay, this is how universally trends are defined in the markets. All right, uptrend is a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. All right, now what is a higher high? So let's say the market starts from here. You have the first high. Okay, market corrects, goes down, goes up. Okay, corrects again. Now you have a higher high. This high being higher than this high. Okay, and higher lows. So you have this low, the lowest point from where the market started, went up, went down, started going up again. So this becomes another low. This is a high, this is a low. All right. Now this low is higher than this low. All right. This low is higher than this low, which is higher than this low. So a sequence of higher highs, higher lows, okay, indicates an uptrend. All right. What's a downtrend? A sequence of lower highs. So let's say when the market goes down, okay, goes up again, goes down again. At this stage, you will see that this high has been formed because it has to go down. Only then you can see this high, right? In hindsight, you can see it. So then you can see that this high is lower than the previous high. So always in connection to the previous high. Yeah, it has got nothing to do with this now. The previous high, what did it do? So in context to this previous high, this high is lower. All right. So you have a lower high. Once this low gets broken, market comes till here, goes up slightly. You have a lower low as well. So this low, lower than this low, lower than this low. So a sequence of lower highs, and then of course, once this falls, then you have another lower high. So you have lower high, lower low, lower low. Sequence of lower highs, lower lows is a downtrend. Okay, because visually you can see price falling, right? Okay. Something which falls in neither category and is visually sideways. So it's just doing this. There is no higher formation, there is no lower formation. That's called a sideways trend. Okay. Now we will see this on a chart and see how to plot it. Okay, so I have something which is a trading view chart over here. This is a free software. Okay, you guys can also use this. All right, so let's try and plot some higher lows, lower highs. So what I will do is I will just use a normal trend line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so you see this is a high. So what is a high? A high is basically the highest point that you see in a particular sequence. So let's say we are starting here. Okay, I'm disregarding the earlier. Let's say we're starting here. Price goes up, falls from there. Okay, so this you can clearly see is the highest point. So the highest point is the name of the software is Trading View. We'll come to that. Okay, so basically the highest point, which is the peak, you can say, is the swing high. Okay, so when we say highs and lows, we are referring to this. High is a short form for a swing high. Okay, so this is a swing high. Price falls, price goes up again. Only once it goes up, once price reaches here, can you say that this is a low. Okay, because price has reversed from here. See, in technical analysis, there are no assumptions. It all has to be very crystal clear. You have to see it and only then plot it. So what I will do is I will plot this as a low, but I will color this now. So this, let's say I will color it blue because the candles are already green, so I don't want confusion over there. This I will plot as red. Okay, so one swing high, one swing low has been plotted. Now let's see where we can find the next swing high and swing low. Probably this is also a swing high and swing low. So I will plot this as well. What I will do is I will just take control and I can just duplicate this. Okay, how to use TradingView and all, there are tutorials available. So you can do that. I am quickly going to just show you how this is. We will give you access to this recording also for maybe a couple of weeks. Okay, so you can do that, but you'll have to, fill up a feedback form for that at the end so that we know who's attended the webinar. All right, so this is one high. This point is the highest point. All right, and then market moved up from here, so this becomes a low. So we mark that as a low. So what do we have now? Is this high higher than this high? Correct, right? So if you see over here, you can see open, high, low, close. So the highest point here is 5794.8 Bajaj Finance. Highest point here is 5749.95. See, it doesn't matter by how much it is higher. It just needs to be higher. That's it. Okay, so this is the higher point. And then obviously this low is higher than this low. So sequence of higher highs and higher lows has started, which means an uptrend is in progress right now. All right. Now market fell from here. Again, what do? This is another point. This is another low. This is another high. This is another low. All right. Now, this is also another higher high. Again, the market has gone up. This point here is higher than this point here. So we mark this also as a swing high. We mark this also as a swing low. But what happened over here? For the first time, this sequence of higher highs. So if you see, each high is higher than the previous high, immediate previous high. Each high is higher than the previous high. This high is higher than this high. This high is higher than this. This is higher than this. This is higher than this. Each low is also higher. This low is higher than this low, which is higher than this low, which is higher than this low, which is higher than this low. But here, finally, the sequence got broken. Okay. So when a sequence, so we were in an uptrend. If you have to look at Bajaj Finance, we were in an uptrend till here. And then here is where the uptrend temporarily got broken. It's not as if it got broken permanently. Temporarily, the bulls lost steam. And because if this had to continue, the uptrend had to continue, this low should not have been violated. This low should have been protected by the bulls, and the price should have reversed from a price which is higher than this price. It should have reversed from there. Anyway, the bulls still managed to. First, let's mark this low. All right. Bulls managed to then take out this high. Even though they lost this battle, they managed to take out this high. Okay, so we will mark this. All right, now this is also a low, but price action is too close. So we can skip marking this low also. All right, and we just wait for, there needs to be some wiggle room. Okay, so we give some more wiggle room and this becomes a low. This becomes, what we can do is we can shift this high now to actually this high. So instead of this high, we are looking at now this high. Again, a sequence of higher highs, higher lows has started. This is also a higher high. So we can plot this. This is a clear swing low. This is again a higher high. This is again a higher low. This is again a higher high. And here the sequence again got broken. And now let's see what sequence Bajaj Finance started. Okay, now this is a low. This is a high. Okay, I'm quickly doing this because obviously we have some paucity of time, but I'm just showing to you. So now what you have is this high lower than this high lower than this high lower than this high, the preceding high. So here, even though you had a higher low, you did not, the low here, this low was higher than this low, but it did not have a higher high. The high is still lower than the previous high. So this cannot be an uptrend. Just because you have a lower, a higher low doesn't mean that the uptrend has started. You need higher high, higher low sequence. Otherwise, and here it is very clear, the highs are continuously coming down, which means that at each leg there is more selling than there is buying. Okay, and then finally here also you have a sequence of lower highs, sequence of lower lows. This low being lower than this low, this low being lower than this low. Okay, and then finally you have another low over here, which is also lower. Okay, you have one high over here, and this is where Bajaj Finance has turned the trend also, that by breaking this, but still the sequence of higher highs, higher lows is not yet formed. Okay, so we still have to wait for Bajaj Finance to correct a little bit over here, probably fall a little bit, and then once it goes up, then this will give us another higher high, and this will become the higher low. Okay, but this is how you have to look at in terms of trend. Like if you really have to make sense of what is happening, you have to look at the higher high, higher low sequence. Now I understand for a lot of you this would be confusing because this is the first time probably you are seeing something like this. Okay, and you're like, where do I plot the high, where do I plot the low? Of course there is a science behind it, and it's a more in-depth study that you have to do. Practice is what you have to do, but this is how trend identification is done. Because if you don't mark this, if you just see this visually, it's a little bit more challenging. For me, it is not challenging because I have gone through thousands of charts in my career. Okay, for you guys with lesser experience, obviously it will take some more time. Okay, and that is why this is the best method that I know of to actually start practicing. We're not talking about trading over here. Okay, we're not talking about taking buying selling decisions, just trying to understand what the chart is doing. Because if you get that right, then why kaun se price pe buy karna hai, what price to buy, what price to sell is child's play. Okay, you need to know what the stock is doing, what is the direction. Okay, ja kidhar raha hai. All right. So if let's say you're on the Bombay Pune expressway, somebody drops you on the expressway, blindfolds you, puts you in a helicopter. Okay, drops you on the expressway. What is the first thing that and you remove your blindfold? All right, what's the first thing you're going to do? You will ask somebody, and there are, let's say, let me draw this quickly, it'll probably help to. So let's say this is the road. Okay, this is the median, and this is the other road. Okay, and this is the median. Poor at drawing. So you have one road going this way. Okay, you have one road going this way, and you're dropped in the middle here somewhere. Okay, you don't know which road goes where, right? So the first thing you will do is you will ask somebody, okay, a passerby or whoever, okay, bhai, ye rasta kidhar jata hai? Where does this road go and where does this road go? Okay, and then you will determine where you want to go, right? So this is the problem in the markets, that most people do not first check what the stock is doing. They are so fixated with buying a stock because they've heard or whatever, some news somewhere, I want to buy Reliance. They did, or Bajaj Finance. Bajaj Finance is a great stock, but it is not a stock to buy when the stock is doing this. Okay, it is a stock to buy when the stock is doing this. It is not a stock to buy when the stock is doing this. Okay, there will come a time. So our aim is to avoid this. This is pain, and doesn't matter what price you buy, you will always be lower because the trend is completely down. Okay, and this keeps repeating. The beauty is you need to spend some time and effort to learn it once. Once you learn it, once you know कि भाई trend कहाँ change होता है, where does the trend change? Okay, then all you need to do is just keep following it. And Bajaj Finance is not just one stock. It could be Bajaj Finserv, it could be Hero Honda, it could be HUL, doesn't matter. The stock name is just a name for this chart. Okay, you are buying the chart, you're not buying the company. Okay, you're buying a share of the company, of course, but you are buying what the price is telling you. Okay, try and understand the difference. And it's very powerful, guys. It's very powerful because if you know So let's say you have to go to, let's say you're on that expressway, okay, you're somewhere in the middle of Bombay and Pune, and you have to go back to Bombay, all right? And you just say, this road looks good, okay, let's get in. I'll hitch a ride from somebody, okay? You get into the car, and you don't even ask them where they're going. And then wherever you want to go, I'll just go, okay? You go ahead, then you see Bombay, you see a billboard, okay, that Bombay is behind, okay? What will you do? You will stop immediately, or you'll ask the driver to stop. I think I'm in the wrong car, okay, I need to go there. That's what people don't understand. They buy a stock, the stock falls, they keep holding the stock thinking that eventually it will rise. Can you, a car going to Pune, can you logically assume that it will somehow miraculously turn around and go to Bombay? It might, maybe the driver has forgotten something, but that is chance, that is luck. Okay, in trading, there is no room for luck or chance. Okay, a stock which is going down, your first job is to get out, or if you're not entered, not enter it only. It is not your business to predict where this will turn, and I will be Houdini, and I will try and buy it here, so and this will be the turning point of the stock. No, it doesn't work that way. Your job is to respect what the market is doing. See, because these price action candles and these trends are not made by you and me. They are made by institutions, or forget institutions also, they are made by collective market participants. So all market participants in their wisdom, all buyers and sellers have decided to create this. Okay, not individually, nobody's trying to create anything, but the buying and selling has determined that there is more selling here right now than there is buying. So the market in its collective wisdom, whatever that wisdom may be, we don't care. We are not interested in finding reasons for why this move is happening. We only know that it is happening, and we are supposed to respect it. Okay, and we will know when the sequence turns around, when everybody is turned bullish again, at that time we will buy, not before that. All right. Now this is one aspect. All right. I'm hesitant to ask clear so far because it may not be clear. Okay, and given the paucity of time, it may be difficult to, but does this concept make some sense? Can I just get some quick feedback on, is it making sense? Thoda common sense, logical lag raha hai ki nahi? Just quickly, yes, no, whatever. You can just mention that. Yes, Shobit said yes, thank you. Yes, a wee bit. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Trupti, yes, very much. One should wait for trend to reverse to enter. Yeah, of course. Your trend has to be an uptrend to enter. Okay. A wee bit is also fine. That's fine. I don't expect everybody to get this instantly, which is why I'm going to give you the recording also. Okay. Or we're going to give you access to the LMS where you can see this. But yeah, okay. Everybody said yes. One person said B, but that's also fine. Okay. And even if you've not understood it, that's also fine. Okay. You don't have to get it today. Okay. Just start understanding this concept. Revisit the video again, when to enter trade. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, we'll come to that. So there are several ways to enter. Okay, but first thing is to know, and we are actually not going to cover entries today in detail, at least, because that's like a whole different ball game. Okay, but we're going to first, before entering, we need to know by which stock do I enter. Okay, right now my job in this session is only to filter the stocks out for you, so that you know by one look whether I have to enter the stock or no, or stay or avoid. Okay, so this is one aspect. Let's go to the presentation again and move to the next point, which will help you clarify this further. Now I understand this would be a little bit difficult drawing initially. Okay, so there is another method which is a complementary method. I wouldn't say it's a replacement for this. Nothing can replace this. This is pure price action, pure trend following. Okay, but it's a very good complement to this marking that we do, and that is called a 200-day SMA. I forgot to mention to you guys, keep a pen and paper handy. I think it would have been nice. Sorry, my bad. So 200-day simple moving average, or a 200-day SMA. Okay, they also call it DMA, 200 DMA, which is short for 200 daily moving average. Same thing. All right. Now, what is this? Okay, it is basically just a line. It's an average of the closing price. Okay, so each candle, let's see in the candlesticks, right? So the closing price doesn't matter whether it's a red candle or a green candle. It's the average of the last 200 candles closing price. Any stock, doesn't matter. Right now it's Reliance, it could be any other stock. Okay. And it's plotted like this. Obviously, being an average, it is going to smoothen the price because it's an average. You know, it's one candle does not move it significantly. And obviously, this is an average of 200, the last 200. Why 200? Because in earlier times, you used to have typically 200 trading sessions in a year. Okay, now it's much more. I think it's close to 250, 270, I believe, or maybe even more than that. Or maybe, yeah, 250, 270 sounds right. But now, but because it's been used for so long that it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy in itself. Everybody follows it, so 200 works. Logically, it should change because the number of days trading sessions in a year and more. So essentially, the 200 SMA used to signify last 1 year's price action. Now it is slightly less than less than 1 year's price action, but it still does the job. Okay. So it's a moving average like this. Now, how do we use this? Let's see this on a chart. Okay, we look at same Bajaj Finance. All right, I already have a moving average over here. So I'm just going to unhide it. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, now your rule. So, ek to ye ho gaya. All right, we have determined trends like this. All right, there is another way to determine trend, and which is again one of the very oldest ways and one of the most effective ways. Old does not mean obsolete. Okay, old is gold. In the case of technical analysis, old is actually gold. So there is a book written about a very famous stock market genius, Jesse Livermore. It's from the US, and you can make a note of this. The book is called Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. Reminiscences of a Stock Operator by, I think it is Edward Lefebvre or something like that. Anyway, the book title itself is famous enough. If you can get your hands on that, it will be great. Okay, it's good reading for a beginner, for anybody actually. So that guy, the concepts, yeah, that's a good point actually. I'll just write that in the chat box. The concepts mentioned in the, thanks for that, Mukul. Edwin Lefebvre, yeah. Okay, so I've sent that out. So the concepts mentioned in that book and the technical analysis concepts that, in fact, even I teach in my course, a lot of them are even applicable to stocks in the 1920s and 30s, and a lot of strategies used in the 1920s and 30s still work today. Okay. Whereas most industries get obsolete like in maybe 20, 30 years max. Okay, you have some new technology coming in. Kodak cameras gone. Okay, you have digital cameras now. Hotmail nobody uses these days. Okay, although it's not gone, but you have so many. The shelf life of companies and industries is so small. And here, okay, in any business, if some people are in business over here, you'll know that your business keeps changing, new competitors, new markets. I mean, you know, earlier you were monopoly in something probably, or there were very few players. Now it's flooded. You know, you have to shut certain divisions to start new ones, you know, which are more profitable because old ones are no longer working. Here is a business where the concepts don't change. And you know why they don't change? Because human emotions don't change. Greed and fear always remain the same across centuries. It doesn't matter what century you're living in. Okay, so that's the beauty. You learn this, you can actually teach your children, your grandchildren, avoid them from making the blunders that we end up making, or you know, like in my personal case, I have made. So at least I'll be able to pass this on. You know, so that's something to think of. Now, Coming back to, so here, what is our rule going to be? Our rule is very simple. Only if price is above 200 SMA do we even consider buying the stock. Okay, so if the price is here, if the price is significantly below 200 SMA, the trend is down and it's a bearish stock. Okay, so if you are looking at a price chart, okay, or if you're interested in buying a company, the first thing you should do is you should plot this 200 SMA, okay, and see where the current price is. Current price, it's always current price, not past price. So current price, which is of course the last traded price, is here. Okay, so current price is here. Price is about 200 SMA. It's a bullish stock. You can now use your strategies, whatever strategy you use, to enter and on the long side. You will never short this stock. Okay, you will only, similarly, if you have to look at weak stocks, we'll go through other stocks also. This same stock was weak once it crossed this over here. This was of course the COVID fall. So below this, no trader worth his salt has any business buying this stock or going long in this stock. Below 200 SMA, strictly a no-no. Now, why do we do this? There is a very famous phrase in the stock markets. Okay, the trend is your friend till it bends at the end. Okay, so which means this is the trend. The trend is, if the price is above the 200 SMA, the trend is up. If the price is below, here it went below, but only for some time, and then this is a fight between bulls and bears, where the bears are trying to bring this below the 200 SMA, but the bulls are saying not so fast. And finally, the fight is won by the bulls. Once the fight is won by the bulls, it sets in place the next uptrend, which can continue for months and years. Okay, that is what trading is about. It is about knowing who's winning the battle. When the price is above the 200 SMA, the battle has already been won by the bulls. Okay, so this is one of your edges in trading. You can't just blindly trade. You have to trade with an edge, knowing that there is wind beneath my or behind my back, okay, pushing me forward. You should not be, like they say, don't swim against the tide, right? Can you swim against the tide with ease? No, right? You're going to get burnt out, tired, all of that. It's always best to swim with the tide. This is the tide. Don't try to swim against it. So don't try to short this stock if the price is above the 200 SMA, and don't try to buy this stock if the price is below the 200 SMA. Okay, now we will also see something. In this only, I will just explain to you. So here, even though this is an uptrend, or rather, sorry, even though this is a downtrend, price is still about 200 SMA, right? So which means this fall, although it's a downtrend, short term it's a downtrend, but this is a correction which is happening. This is not a reversal of the trend. The reversal of the trend will happen below the 200 SMA. All right, because here, see, anything which goes up tremendously, see, this stock has been above the 200 SMA since this time. Okay, since roughly this time, since 3,271. Okay. Sunny says, can we say if the price is about 200 SMA, that's the time to accumulate? Yeah, it's the time to look at the stock and look at where to buy. Now, where to buy is a very subjective thing. Okay, that's what I teach in my course, and we have strategies. I mean, it's a 3-month course. Obviously, I can't give you a 3-month course, in a 1.5 hour session. It's quite a detailed, intensive course. But this gives you the starting point. Okay, I can look at the stock now to buy somewhere. Where, that depends on your psychology as a trader, whether you want to buy here close to the 200 SMA. Those things then come into the equation. Then you have to devise a strategy around it. What will be my entry point? Okay, but about 200 SMA is definitely you create a watch list of stocks which are about 200 SMA. Okay, I will quickly take you through a quick list as well, and we'll see how that goes. So see the stock which was about 200 SMA at 3275 roughly. Okay, hit a high of 8,000. So imagine that's $5,000. So that is 150% return already. So do you think a stock which went from 3251 or whatever 3271 to 8,000 will catch its breath? You know, will be tired somewhere and will just catch its breath before launching again? You know, it has to, right? Ebb and flow. Okay, what goes up comes down and then tries to go up again. So if you are trying to make money, bet on this stock as long as it stays above this. If it goes below this, all bets are off. Why? Because we respect only price. It doesn't matter Bajaj Finance, they might come out with great reports, brokerages may say Bajaj Finance is great, but the price is at 5,000, it is below 200 SMA, I'm not interested. I'm only interested, price has to be the determining factor, because ultimately I am paid on price only, no, I'm not paid for analysis. Okay, my analysis could be anything, but ultimately I have to buy at 100 and sell at 120, only then I make money, right? I don't get money for buying at 100, stock going to 50, but the exchange tells me your analysis was great, so here's a check for 50,000. Doesn't work that way. So that is what we do. Okay, quickly we will go through. So as it is, we're running out of time. We'll go through all, not all, but at least some 30 of these FNO stocks. Okay, so these are all stocks in the FNO segment. RT Industries. Okay, you guys tell me now very quickly. Is this worth a buy? I'm not saying what price, okay, but just purely based on whether it's above the SMA and what does the trend look like. See, trend also has to be visually very clear. You don't have to, you shouldn't be convincing yourself of the trend. Trend kya dikh raha hai? Left to right, what is the, it's going up, right? Going up. Fairly easy to see. Yes. Okay. So this is a yes. Okay. Abbott. So this is tricky now. So it was a yes till here. Now what has happened? Now it has closed below this SMA. So is Abbott a buy or in our watch list? No. Correct. No. It is not. Price has to be above this. Price has to be above this level, which currently it is not. Yes. Samyak is right. It's not. Okay. ABFRL. Yes. Very simple. Trend is also up. ACC. Yes. Very true. Adani. Yes. Adani Ports. Although it's a yes, but this is a sideways period. So you can see here the trend is struggling. It is neither an uptrend nor a downtrend, because both this is broken, this is broken, this is broken, and it's not broken. But yeah, it's a bit sideways from an experience perspective. You can figure out, and there are other ways to also know, okay, when a stock is in sideways. But if you're only looking at SMA, definitely on the buy side. Bulls are more in control. Yes. Will you buy this stock? Or will you consider buying it? No, Trupti is right. No, because it is down. See, we are not here to do crystal ball gazing. We are not here to predict कि ये यहाँ से turn हो जाएगा. This will turn from here and I will be a genius. No. We are here to put our money. See, our money is hard earned, right? Okay, so given a choice between a stallion, okay, who wins races all the time, and let's say a donkey. Okay, now I'm not saying this is a donkey, but let's say let's say a horse who's past his prime. Okay, you will bet on the horse which is winning, right? This horse right now temporarily is not winning, so we will wait for it to become a stallion. Okay, anything can turn around. This is only temporary, because please remember, till this time this was also in an uptrend. Okay, so trend is your friend till it bends at the end. So here is where the trend bent. Okay, and once the trend bent, then it has remained below this. So there is no point. It doesn't matter if you bought it here. Price is still lower than all of these periods. And the worst part is this is 2021 and we are in 2022. So 1 year price is lower and you wasted 1 year also. Okay. So best look for where bulls are firmly in control. Ambuja Cement, yes. And you see price reacts to the 200 SMA. So if you have to buy a strong trending stock from an investment perspective, buy it closer to the 200 SMA. That gives you enough room ke bhai yahan se the next leg will start. If it doesn't start, get out somewhere. Okay, have a stop loss in place always, because there is no certainty in life. Okay, if this falls all the way here, it's better to get out over here. APL, Alembic Pharma, yes, no. No, correct, absolutely. Yeah, Shobit is right. No, correct. Okay, Apollo Hospitals, fabulous trend, right? It's not even touching. Apollo Tires. Now here you have to, this is where your, if you had plotted this, the swing high, swing lows, you will see that a lot of times swing high is broken, swing low is broken, swing high is broken, swing low is broken, you know. So now you know, okay, even though the price is above this, personally, I would not buy this. Why? Because the stock is sideways. It is above 200 SMA, but it also goes below, goes above, goes below, goes above. Whether it go below, I don't know, but it is also sideways. See the earlier trend over here, Apollo Hospitals, look at this trend. Isn't it continuously making new highs, correcting, continuously making new highs, correcting, probably make a new high, I don't know, but it clearly points that the momentum is zabardast, no? Compared to this stock doesn't seem to be doing that. It doesn't have the strength because the time period is the same time period this stock has done nothing. So this is where you use a little bit of judgment as well. Ashok Leyland, yeah, maybe, but I would still say sideways. The trend is not, follow through is not there. Continuously the stock should make new highs. Asian Paints, yes, for sure. Right now it is falling, but is it a time to be worried? No. Let it fall till here somewhere and we will try and catch it here. Because every time it comes, first of all, it doesn't come to 200 SMA very often. When it comes close to it also, it flies. And Asian Paints, of course, no, I mean, it's one of India's best run companies. But we are not buying it because it is in one of India's best run companies. We are buying it because of the chart. All right. Astral, yes, good trend. AU Bank, sideways. So I would not buy AU Bank. Oro Pharma, don't touch it with a barge pole. Okay, so stay away from it because it is far, far away from 200 SMA. Let it go above this, only then we are interested. Because the real money will come only above 200 SMA. Axis Bank, I would say sideways. And then anyway, we spent a lot of time below this. And now again, still it is below this only. So it's not even above this. Bajaj Finance, of course, fantastic stock. So yes, we will look to buy. Bajaj Auto, nope. Bajaj Auto, is it a good, well-run company? Managed by promoters of high integrity? Of course. I mean, Rahul Bajaj, he's more like a chairman emeritus these days. But Rajiv Bajaj, dynamic guy. You listen to his interviews. I'm a huge fan, and he's very outspoken, just like his father, which gets him into hot water also. But so very, very well-run company, all of that. But stock is not doing much, you know. So we don't have to spend our time, you know, thinking about. So if just because I love or if I'm a huge fan of Rajiv Bajaj and I just buy this stock, the stock done nothing. You see where the price is. 3456 in 2018. Okay, is what the price is. Right now the price is 3432. So 4 years and the stock price has done nothing. Okay, company may be doing reasonably well, but I don't think so. 200 SMA should be seen in daily time frame or weekly, monthly too. No, monthly to milega bhi nahi, because you need 200 months. Most companies don't have 200 months of trading history. I mean, not needed. Monthly is too far. Weekly, yes, you can plot weekly also and daily also. Daily is most because if people are trading, generally daily time frame is what people use. Okay, we'll come to questions later. What else is there? Just go through a few more stocks quickly. Balkrishna Industries, yes. Strong trend, nice correction, not a trend change. Although, yes, of course, on the daily, the trend has changed, but this is still a correction. It's not a downtrend as such, you know, in the conventional sense, where the price has turned for good. It is just a breather before it can move up again. Okay, Balrampur Chini, again, fabulous. Went up, consolidated near 200 SMA and now going up again. Bandhan Bank, will you buy it? No, Baba, no Bandhan with this bank. Okay, Bank of Baroda, yes. Looks good. Not terribly convincing, but okay, good enough. Bata, yes. Looks good. Bharat Electronics, definitely yes. Berger Paints, no. Purely because complete sideways movement for way too long. Too long. Asian Paints, same sector, but much better looking chart. So Asian Paints would be my pick. Bharat Forge, yes. Even though it went below here, it has gone up again over here. Maybe Bharat Forge you can skip also. Again, it does have a sideways period. So maybe you can skip it. And see, where you are not 100% certain, avoid the stock. Let the stock give you a screaming yes, screaming buy. Then go ahead and buy that stock. That's always better. Okay, Bharti Airtel. Yes, very good. Now, do you need to be a telecom expert to know that Bharti Airtel is doing well? No, right? The stock itself is showing you that it is doing very well. And this is, when did it give you this indication? 2019 itself, when it went about. Before that, telecom was in doldrums, right? Jio had come taking market share, everything. Now, Jio was still taking market share. And till date also, it is continuing to take market share from Airtel and Vodafone. But what happened over here? Price told you something is changing in this sector and Bharti's fortunes especially. So what is changing is now telecom rates are going up. Okay, your prepaid rates, your postpaid rates, they're all going up. So era of cheap telecom or the cheapest telecom is probably over for the time being. You know, unless some new entrant comes. So which is good. I mean, they also have to make money, right? We don't want these companies shutting down. Biocon, and see how the 200 SMA is such a strong factor that every time it comes to the 200 SMA it sells off, every time it comes it sells off, every time it comes it sells off, every time sells off, comes sells off. So this tells you, now you need to keep an eye on Biocon. You know why? Because it has done this so many times, the day it bounces and breaks through this 200 SMA, and comes back and revisits that 200 SMA again. So if I can just draw this quickly, this I'm going out of curriculum, today's curriculum. So let's say it breaks this, okay? You don't buy this over here. It falls back again to this 200 SMA. You buy the stock here and you watch what happens. There'll be a follow through. There should be, again, not a certainty, but a high probability that this will happen. This I am telling you from my personal experience, just having seen this. Otherwise, this stock is not in my radar for any trading, but just seeing it over here, I think this is what can happen. Okay, that's what trading is about. High probability gain. Okay. So let's go to the next. And this will be the final chart, Bosch. Yeah, so Bosch is yeah, TikTok, not bad, but Nothing great either. I can skip this. BPCL strict no. Okay. So did this make sense? Is this an easier way of finding out, at least finding out what are the strong stocks, what are the weak stocks? Okay. Plot your 200 SMA and look at the trend in conjunction with it to find out which are the stronger stocks and which are the weaker stocks. So if you have to buy, yeah, thanks a lot. So if you have to buy something, have a basket of the strongest stocks, okay? Because ultimately they are the ones, who are going to make you the money. And the weak stocks, or if you have weak stocks in your portfolio, okay, then you can look at them with this in a new light, and you can see, what to do, whether to realign your portfolio or not. Of course, do all of this. You still need entries and all of that, okay, because without that, entry, stop loss, trade management, risk management, all of that is needed. But this gives you a starting point. Please tell from where we have to plot 200. You don't have to plot, the software will plot for you. Okay, so if the stock, let's say, doesn't have 200 excuse me, 200 days trading history, okay, like a recent IPO stock Paytm जैसा, तो 200 SMA plot ही नहीं होगा. तो जिधर plot नहीं होगा कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Where the 200 SMA is not there, you can't do anything, right? So you don't have to plot, the software does everything for you automatically. You just have to find it in the indicators. Okay. So that's where we are at. I'm just going to quickly. I hope this was interesting enough, and it simplified things to a certain degree, as to what you need to do. Now, as you guys know, or some of you know, I run some WhatsApp groups as well, a Telegram group as well. If you guys would like to be a part of that group, where I share stock ideas with levels, okay. I don't give stop loss. I don't give target because I don't want to feed you. Okay. I want to teach you how to fish. Okay. I don't want to give you a fish every day. All right. But if you're interested in that, and that's purely from an academic point of view, you're like, only entry prices ka main karu kya? You're not, if you don't know what to do with it, then don't do anything is what I suggest. Just watch and observe. It'll help you to build some more confidence, and then maybe take up my course where I actually teach you how those levels come into existence, why I have given those levels, why those recommendations are there, and how you can get them for yourself. Okay, the point is not there's a limit to how much I can reach out to people, right? And I don't want to keep them dependent on me. I will teach you the same exact things that I do, and the same things that have made me profitable. And if it works for you, or some of those things work for you, even if one thing works for you, that's all you need. You don't need 10 things to make money. Okay, you need just one thing, be a master of it, and just relentlessly execute that one setup. Become an expert in that one setup. You don't need 10 indicators. I don't use indicators in my trading. First of all, this is the only indicator I use, 200 SMA. That's it, nothing else. And but I do use price action. Okay, price action is the best indicator. There is nothing else which leads more than price. Okay. So Ronak he's just put down in the chat box the WhatsApp group links, the Telegram links. If you guys want to join, you're more than welcome. Okay. Quickly, I will if I have your permission, I would just like to take maybe 10 minutes to tell you about my courses, my upcoming course which is coming up. And if I have your permission, if I can get a yes in the chat box, then I'll just take 10 minutes to quickly show you some student testimonials as well, what they have done and how they have managed to be successful. If I can quickly get, yeah, sure. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so try to end this on time. Okay, yeah, before that, so which software to use for technical analysis? You can use any software. I personally use TradingView, which is what I showed you on. It's a free software. If you want to upgrade, then there is a link that I will share with you. I will just copy paste this, put it in the chat box. You can join through this link, okay? And there's a $30 bonus that will remain in your account if you decide to join or upgrade your membership at any time. Okay, so you can. I'm a pro member because for me, I mean, I found it useful. It's anyway quite cheap, to be very honest, some $1,000 a month or something like that. So you can just check that out. Should you watch or read business news? I don't, okay, and neither should you. It unnecessarily just is extra clutter. You can't act on business news anyway. Secondly, if you trade the chart well, okay, most of the news, the good news will be in your favor. You will buy first, the news will come 5 days later, okay? Because remember, whoever has the news comes from a source, right? The source is the company, okay? I won't say there's insider trading that happens, but of course, I mean, there are people who have access to news faster than you and me. Even the news channels themselves have access to news faster than you and me, right? So who's to say that people don't build up positions before the news actually comes, okay? Because they want, if there's some positive news coming out, would they want to buy before the positive news or after the positive news? They would want to buy before, no? So generally speaking, people in the know, whatever, people who have chats with management, even FIIs, whatever, they have chats with promoters, managements regularly, right? And based on that, so the promoter may have said, next year, this month, we are looking to launch that. You and I may have forgotten, but that FII remembers. He's tracking that story, and he will probably buy, before that that news eventually comes out, because he knows it's going to happen anyway. So the news not needed. I subscribe to Economic Times. I read it once in a week. Okay, more as just to keep updated. I don't read it to get any stock news. I read it more from a general perspective as to what's happening in the business world. Like what companies, what technologies are doing well. Just keeps me updated. That's it. Doesn't help me in my trading. Okay, but just makes me a more rounded personality from a knowledge perspective. Those who listen to news regarding stocks would definitely have to bear loss. Yeah, I mean, you can't trade based on news. That's the worst thing you can do. So if a news comes, I've done that also. News comes and you immediately buy something, or you won't make money, okay? Because you're generally too late. Should you subscribe to stock tips? No. Okay, because you can't get rich on stock tips. Okay, even the groups that I'm sharing with you, okay, the intention is not to give you a tip. The intention is to tell you, okay, dekho ye level, observe this level, see what happens, look at the chart in conjunction with this level, and see what happens. If a stock goes up 10%, 15%, 30% after that, you will then probably start looking, maybe this guy makes sense. So that's what. Which broker should I open an account with? You can use any low-cost, reliable broker. Okay, so low cost is important and reliable is also important. You don't want the broker going bust or creating some scam. So go with the bigger ones, but they're low-cost offering. Okay, there's no need to pay 30 paise for delivery and all of that. Those days are gone. I personally use Zerodha because that's of course became a 15-time 60-day challenge winner. I personally use Zerodha because they were firstly the pioneers in this field, and they are a debt-free company, so they don't have any external debt whatsoever. They are a unicorn, which means $1 billion valuation company, completely bootstrapped, which means they use their own funds to grow. They don't answer to any private equity shareholder. They don't have any other person's agenda that they are forced to follow. Okay, and they are the largest stockbroker in India. So, I mean, scale counts for a lot. Especially when it comes to technology. Plus, the technology platform is terrific. I mean, once you use, I've used several, and Zerodha is what I personally use. There's another one which I use only for some charts, but I don't trade there, is Sher Khan's Trade Tiger. Again, a pioneer, brilliant. I mean, I don't have any affiliation with them, but it's just that they're very good. Before Zerodha, they were the pioneers. So in case any one of you would like to open an account with what have I done? Okay. With Zerodha, I'm going to put this in the chat box. Okay, you guys can use this. Yeah. Okay. So we'll quickly go to the course. So I have a course coming up in February. Okay, I will just quickly share the details with you. Yeah, so this is the Power of Breakouts level 1. So it's a level 1 and a level 2 course. All right. It's a 3-month long course with 3 months of WhatsApp support. Okay, so this provides enough time. It's got 40 hours of content across recorded and live sessions. So I will be live teaching you guys, and there will of course be recorded sessions. Recordings are provided for 6 months, so 3 months of the course plus an additional 3 months. All right, and you get videos as well as PDF presentations that I have personally prepared. All right, and these concepts are explained with the real examples from my own trading. When we go through the live sessions, also I give you also a lot of charts ready-made, okay, based on what has been taught. These are the charts you have to look at with very precise entry points. Okay, so the whole point of this course is trading can be highly subjective. Okay, and it's very easy to just muddle people and confuse people, you know, by appearing very what shall I say, very knowledgeable. Okay, so if you can't convince them, confuse them, right? That's what they say. So I've tried to make it very structured. Okay, I've tried to create a very step-by-step process whereby people even with zero knowledge can come in and trade very effectively, okay, on their own. And I will share some student testimonials where they have been able to do that very successfully. So I will be teaching strategies also, so where you will know exactly where to enter, where to exit, what stop loss to use, how to exit, how to maximize your profits, okay, different types of exit methodologies, okay, and some very unique risk and money management concepts which I personally use. Which types of orders to use, when, how to place orders, some basic things are also there. Start date is 19th February, end date is 18th of May. It's 3 months course. 30,000 is the regular price. We have a early bird offer going on right now, which is 25,000 inclusive of GST. All right, and you have some bonuses as well. You get one 30-minute call with me within 3 months of the course start, and of course recordings are provided for 6 months. What will you learn? Which stocks to enter, what price to enter, where to keep the stop loss, where to keep the trailing stop loss, what are supports, resistances, okay, very important, how to manage the trade till the exit, how to find and select the best stocks to trade. We covered a portion of this, okay. There is an entire other component as well, okay. Which are the best breakouts to trade and which should be avoided, how to enter a breakout if you've missed it the first time, how to create a watch list, okay, trading psychology and its importance, very, very crucial. Risk management, to keep risk under control at all times. How to ensure that we always try to keep ourselves in the game through money management. How to get the maths in your favor to trade profitably over the long term. How to get an edge in the markets. And of course, to swing strategies, which types of orders to use. So there are some testimonials over here which you can look at in the website. I'm not going to go through those testimonials. There's also a feedback form which my team has given over here. Please just check that and fill that if you want this recording to be shared with you, because without the feedback form and without knowing who's here, we can't really share it. So please fill that form. Now, quickly going to take 5 minutes to just show you why you should join us. Of course, you have me with some credibility. Those are my winner certificates. So that's 13 times equity FNO, 2 times commodities. So that's a 15 times. So this is Paytm. This happened very recently. If you can see, this was one of my WhatsApp groups. So Puneet asked me what should be the support for Paytm on Tuesday. Okay. So I said right now it is at support of 1135. The price was 1135 at that time. If it breaks, then more pain. Okay, what is lower support? I mentioned 1000. He said okay. Okay, let's look at Paytm. What happened? Paytm. Okay, so this is a falling stock. So trend is down clearly, right? So will you buy the stock? No. All right. And the support, I mean, so on Tuesday. So what was Tuesday? Tuesday was the 11th. Okay, so let's see what the price was on the 11th. So 11th price closed at 1119. Okay, at 1135 is when I told him. Okay, a support is 1000. Check the low over here. Check the low over here. So next day low 1075, next day low 1025, next day low bang 1000. Okay, so a falling stock in such a huge downtrend, okay, to a precision of 1000, and I told them this few days back. Okay, so this is not to brag about myself, but this doesn't happen all the time also, let me tell you, but where exactly to the T. Okay, it doesn't happen all the time, but these concepts again are support and resistance concepts, which I will be teaching you. Okay, but it does repeat enough number of times that you can make a living out of it. Okay, that's all it. Again, knowing where the markets are going to turn and above which level the markets are going to blast. That's what the trading is about. We are not interested in buying at each and every level. No, we are only interested in buying at our levels, and then let the market come to us. Okay, that's what we're interested in. Okay, so these are some student reviews. This is Imran's review. Jai bhai, thanks for this wonderful system that you have created. As finally after wading through hundreds of strategies and systems, I've come to believe in your way of trading. Your course is one of the best that I have ever attended. The best part of this course is its ease, simplicity, and firepower to spring up high probability setups that can be discerned and traded with ease. I recommend all to go through this course and make it a way of their trading life. In case you wish to arise out of the abyss of frustrations and depression that trading with wrong systems push us into. Indeed, some systems make us believe that we are not meant for trading and can never succeed in our trading careers. But bravo, your course dismantles these beliefs from the core. God bless you for the wonderful work that you're doing for the retail trader community and making us believe in ourselves as traders. This gentleman is somebody I know from my solar days. So we worked together in solar, and then he, bato bato mein he found out that I have become a full-time trader and a trainer as well. So he did my course, and he was like, I've been trading for such a long time, but never, things didn't really gel. So I mean, this is how, I never thought that I could help him in this, but that's how it is. So this is, hello, I'm Aditya, advocate by profession, currently working in Delhi High Court. My trading experience earlier was very bad. This is the July batch. Lost a lot till 2015. Then I stopped trading. I have two NBFCs, both registered with RBI. One of my friends, who's also from IIT, then did IRS, told me about JG. I didn't believe in one go. After 3 months, when I saw his books, so this guy does the books of accounts for this gentleman who did the IIT IRS, and who did my course as well. So after 3 months, when I saw his books, then I decided to join. Earlier, I was investing through mutual funds. Now after the course, like JG has told us, first time in my life I've seen 30% return in a stock and 20% in a few. Overall, my first time, my portfolio is in green. I figured out that strategies are working. I've seen this myself. Okay, then this is, so this is my most successful student till date. This was shared with his permission, but obviously blanked out because figures are huge. So 30 lakhs profit, new landmark, unbelievable. All thanks to you, superb stuff. I said, most welcome, chalo. Teaching people was a good decision then, because that was my first course, in March last year. And so he says, oh, haha, awesome decision, changed my life. Of course, he's put a lot of effort. So I can only teach people, but ultimately the people also have to put in their effort. And now I think he's gone much beyond that. He's last time I checked, it was close to 46, 48 lakhs. So he's doing very well for himself. This is again somebody I graduated from IIT Delhi in May 21, currently working as an analyst in a high frequency based hedge fund. Heard about, I had to blank everything because he's working in a hedge fund. He can't be sharing his name, so that's fine. Heard about Jai's course from a friend, and taking this course was one of the best decisions I've made. Had almost zero experience of trading before this course. Thanks to Jai sir, my learning has been exponential in the last couple of months. This is another gentleman, Manish, सर आपकी नॉलेज एंड एक्सपीरियंस से अब ट्रेड करने में डर नहीं लगता है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा स्टॉप लॉस हिट होगा बट पीस ऑफ माइंड आ गया, ऑल थैंक्स टू यू सर. सो या आई मीन that's what stop loss will be hit. That's if you're going to trade, your stop loss will be hit. That's just an occupational hazard. This is again the same earlier student. Most of what I'm reading resonates with what you've already told us throughout the lessons. So I said, then I've done my job. So it's definitely no doubt about that. Teaching a great, teaching a great strategy is one thing, but teaching someone how to trade takes a lot more, and you've done that phenomenally well. I'm humbled by these responses, to be very honest, and I'm just very thankful that I am in a position where I can teach a few people, and trading is where my income comes from trading. Training is something I got into because I was like, oh, what else can I do in in this profession? There's nothing else, So I was like, okay, so chalo, we'll do that. So the link is here for you guys. There's a feedback form. Please, I would appreciate if you can fill that in. It will help us to make the next session even better. Okay. And these mobile numbers I'm just going to put down. Okay, this is my number, my office number. In case you guys have any calls, any questions rather regarding the course, about trading in general, whatever, feel free to call me. All right, you can call me today, tomorrow, anytime, doesn't really matter. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on the chat box. And now we are open for Q&A as well. So if you have any questions regarding, yeah. So the first number is mine. The second one is Ronak's. Okay, so if you have any queries, you can give me a call. Absolutely no problem. More than welcome. So any queries you had regarding today's session or about trading in general, please feel free to ask me. You can use the mic as well. You can unmute yourself, or you can use the chat box as well. Whatever works for you. Let's see. But the issue is we need funds to trade or invest. Yes, Mukul, I mean, that is the reality. It's called the capital market for a reason. You need capital. And see, I've myself been in that boat where, because your capital runs out, right? Especially if you make losses, it runs out, or you may have small capital initial to begin with. The issue is never capital. This is a business where the capital will follow you if you know what you're doing. Okay, capital will find you. Your friends, family will say, "Bhai, please take my money, trade for me." Knowledge is the key. So I remember the first course that I had done in 2011. Okay, I've done a lot of trading courses myself. The first course that I had done in 2011 odd, the price of that course was 33,000 with service tax, GST tha nahi kabhi. And I didn't have any capital to trade. मैं बोला भाई आप ही कोर्स तो कर लेंगे लेकिन कैपिटल ही नहीं है, so what's the point? So then, but then I thought of it differently. I said, I can't wait for the capital to come because right now I don't know nothing. Okay, if I do the course right now, I can at least start back testing. I can at least start analyzing charts. I can do paper trading, which means fictitious. Assume that you have taken a trade. Do everything but take a trade. And there are some softwares also which allow you to place dummy trades. Okay, so it is as good. So with fictitious money. So simulate real trading. Okay, because when your capital comes, because ये सीखने में भी तो time लगता है ना. It takes a while to learn also. So if you're going to start that learning today, then maybe let's say 1.5 years down the line, 2 years down the line, whenever you actually get capital, you will be ready to deploy the capital. If you wait to start learning when you get the capital, your learning process will start 2.5 years later. वहां से जितना time लगेगा. See, we don't live forever. So as much of the time, if we can cut short, it's always better. That's what I feel. And that's what I have personally used in my this thing to become successful. If you course kar lo, seek lo, learn, capital to aa jayega. And now, like I said, if you're a good trader, capital will find you. So capital is never the problem. It's the skill which is the problem. पैसा बनाना आता है तो खुद का नहीं तो 10 लोग आ जाएंगे आपके पास कि भैया मेरा मैनेज करो funds. So that's good enough. What period one should consider a short term and long term? So I mean basically it depends. So there are three trading you can say time frames: swing trading, day trading, and positional trading. Okay, so day trading is of course everything is finished in the day itself. I don't recommend that. Swing trading hold positions from a few days to a few weeks. Okay, so that's short term. Positional would be few weeks to a few months. Okay, or several months. Okay, that also comes under short term. And then long term would be anything above a holding period of 1 year is long term. Short term is good because see, the longer the time horizon, a lot more things can go wrong in the long term, right? Because future kisi ne dekha nahi. Like you can predict tomorrow what is going to happen in your life, but you can't predict 5 years later what's going to happen in your life, right? So the more distant you try and envisage, the more difficult it is to get it right. So short term is always better, but intraday, although it is the shortest term, but it's not so easy to get it right. So avoid that. Any other questions? Any other questions? I think somebody else also is, yeah. A beginner session on future and options trading. So firstly, that itself is an oxymoron. A beginner should not be doing futures and options. Beginner should, there's a reason for it. Futures and options is highly leveraged. Okay. The psychology needed, it's got nothing to do with how much money you have. Huh? You may have like 1 crore, 2 crores, fine. You can be adequately capitalized for futures and options, but that's just the money capital, the money aspect of it. Mental capital may not be, you won't have it, I can tell you for sure. So it's best to actually have to start with cash market trading. That's the easiest. See, if you have to start learning, let's say how to drive, okay, would you much rather drive on in a normal car, normal sedan, whatever, 10 lakh, sub 10 lakh car, or would you take your let's say father's brand new spanking Mercedes? Okay, I will learn on this. Obviously it makes sense to to learn how to drive on a car which chota mota bhi hai, theek hai, the damage will also be chota mota, that's fine. I won't be able to go as fast also. Higher machineries require higher skills, and you will acquire those skills, but not initially. That's like putting yourself under too much pressure, and then sometimes what happens is that initial shock and jolt is so much that it can put you off trading, so start small. There's a lifetime, and you can scale up dramatically. The best part about this business, which I've personally seen in the last 2.5 years, I've been able to scale from like crazy, from small amounts to like pretty decent amounts today. And that's what can happen with you also. But like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So go small, go slow and steady, and but make sure it's sustainable. Always opt, especially in the stock markets, between two options, one being aggressive, one being conservative. Always opt for the conservative option. I know as beginners and all of that, you tend to opt for the more aggressive option, especially when you have small capital. I have personally done that. It doesn't work though. Problem यही है कि वो काम ही नहीं करता है. We think that this will happen and 5 का 25 बना लेंगे हम फटाफट, and then उसके बाद तो उसके ऊपर 5%, उसके बाद कंजर्वेटिव हो जाएंगे, बट वो 5 का 25 होता ही नहीं है कभी, वो 5 का 1 हो जाता है. So that's why it's best don't look at futures and options right now, especially because lot sizes now are too huge. 6, 7, 8 lakhs, it's too huge. So my advice to you. There are some other. Do you have courses for absolute beginners? So this course is for absolute beginners. It is designed assuming that you are an absolute beginner. It doesn't matter if you know things or if you don't know things. You will be. It is designed actually for assuming that you're an absolute beginner. If you know a little bit, maybe initial couple of sessions you might not find very interesting, but yeah, it is for. I have had people come up to me and tell me, I already know a fair bit. and they have been blown away by the course. So, and beginners ke liye to hai hi hai. It is designed for assuming that you know nothing, and that's what it is. So, and that's why it's a level 1. Level 1 is the best. Yeah, okay. So any other questions, or if there are none, if anyone wants to use the mic, that's also fine. And if not, then we'll just wind up the session. Okay, great. I don't think there are any further questions coming in. All right, guys, it was a pleasure. I thank you for your time once again. Okay, and hope this was useful. And look forward to seeing you on the WhatsApp groups. Abhinav says thank you so much. Most welcome. Glad you liked it. And great. So see you guys, on one of the WhatsApp groups or one of the courses. Yeah. Dave Naik. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mukul. Yeah. Do you wanna say something? Yeah. Go ahead, Mukul. Yeah, Mukul, can you hear me? Okay, no question. All right. So, all right. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, most welcome, Trupti. Good to see you here. Yeah, thanks, Sachin. Thanks, Dave. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.